Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iOS today is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
Companion apps for a successful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, how to be grateful to the people you hate.
And stop complaining to your Facebook friends and email your representatives.
It's time for iOS Today. iOS Today is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage from Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage brings the mortgage process into the 21st century with a fast, easy, and completely online process. Check out Rocket Mortgage today at quickenloans.com/iOS Today. iOS Today time. I look forward to this all week long. I love that, Megan Morrone.
And I love you, Leo Laporte.
Aww. And we are going to get together over a table. We're going to break bread, have a turkey, enjoy Thanksgiving, and whatever we do, not talk politics.
Yes, we will not talk politics here, except for at the end I have a political app for my app cap. But it's not, it's for anyone.
Do you think people are dreading Thanksgiving this year? It's coming up in a couple of days.
I don't know. I mean, I think you always see this like rash of articles around like, how do you talk to your uncle on Thanksgiving? And I think this is different. It's like we know more stuff is out in the open. More people.
I think it's going to be great. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm just having Thanksgiving with two other people, my wife and her son, and that's it. And that's all. And but I do think there is a little nervousness. You're right. The New York Times had an article, which I think maybe wasn't exactly. It was 19 questions you should ask your family members who disagree with you on politics, I think was the general gist I got of it. And at the end, the last question was, do you still like me? So I thought that probably isn't the best way to spend Thanksgiving. So we've got some alternatives.
Yes, we do. So this week, Google came out with a photo scan app. I know you talked about it on some of your shows. I talked about it on some of my shows.
Jason picked it on All About Android. I mean, this is... when Google comes out with an app, this is a big deal. Yeah,
I mean, but I'm amazed how Google comes out with these apps, especially around Google Photos and everything that they're doing that are just exactly what I needed. And in this case, I want to take a picture. I'm at my family's house. They have this great old picture. I want to take a picture of it, but it's
on the wall.
On the wall.
With glass.
Yeah, or like I want to hold it up and I spend 45 minutes trying to get the right angle, remove the glare.
I think we've all done that.
Yeah.
And then there's a light bulb reflection in the corner or something.
And they do it for you. So I got some old pictures here.
Oh, good. So this would be an app to put on your phone now, iOS or Android, by the way, and bring, I love that picture. In fact, you posted that on Facebook.
I did. Here's a picture of our 3 children. I had 2 more after this, but there's my 13-year-olds.
That's Annabella. And my daughter, Abby, who was, about 8 then?
I guess.
And Henry's about 6.
Yeah, it was 2003.
Yeah.
So see all that glare?
Yeah, but it's hard to take. But see, this is a print. We don't have a digital version of this because back in those days, nobody did.
Right.
So how are you going to get this picture so you could put it on Facebook or share it with Abby and Henry?
I am going to,
By the way, the studio is the worst for this because we have lights everywhere.
Let's just set it there.
That's a pretty good from this angle.
And I don't even have to get it exactly in the corners.
Watch what happens here. This is so cool.
Can you see that?
So now it turns on the flash, but then it also gives you 4 dots.
And you have to follow the arrow on the dots.
And by doing that, you're moving the angle and getting the reflections out of there, but also capturing in higher resolution all the picture. Let's see, it's processing now.
Not bad. There's still a little bit of a glare. And notice we have a lot of lights here.
It's harder to do it here, I think, than in the real world. But that's actually... pretty good. If you zoom in on it, you can.
If I want.
Yeah, exactly. And it does a good job of cropping it. That's actually about close to perfect.
And then I just click Save All, and it's in my photos.
It's in your camera roll.
It's on my camera roll, and it's also in Google Photos. So here are some more that I took at home.
There's some good ones. In fact, your parents had a picture on their wall, framed, of a family photo. This is exactly the kind of thing. Oh. Wow, you have a lot of pictures. Holy cow.
So here's one that I took
that came
through
out.
the glass, and it came out pretty well. And I even
that's little Megan. That's zoomed in.
Yeah. And then there's another one that I took on the wall.
That's your sister?
That's my sister. That's our TV dinners.
Oh, my.
Yeah, her Scooby-Doo T-shirt.
Look at that.
That's another app. There's this one again. I think this might have...
This is when you did this at home, it came out better.
No, this is... Yeah, when I did it at home, let's find that.
Yeah.
There's...
Look at there. Oh,
Yeah.
these are great. That's a school picture. Another example.
Yep.
They don't give you the digital version
No.
of the school picture, but you'd like that.
Yeah.
That's
and
beautiful. Annabella.
I love... Here's another one I took from a glass on the wall. And so here's what it just looked like when I did, it didn't work that well that time.
Yeah, just
Marco's
take it.
grandmother.
Oh.
Yeah,
She
this
looks
is what
quite
it did
regal.
at home. But you know what? It does do something weird. See how Henry's eyelashes are a little bit dark? Let's see.
I think it processed at wedding
Yeah,
photos.
well...
Oh, look at that.
It made
yeah.
it a little bit darker.
Schmoots, they gave him mascara.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but if you see...
He does have preternaturally long, beautiful eyelashes.
He does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love this because I use Google Photos. And I heard you when you were
I
talking
knew
about,
you then.
You did know me
What I
then.
didn't know is that you had a book cake.
Yep. That was cake.
That's so cute. What are the books?
I think they're just like Megan and Marco. They're not actual
that's
books.
so funny.
But we ate it.
You were working at the
Mm-hmm.
Screensavers at the time.
So yeah, I think this is maybe what I took without the
Before and
tool.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just for like the one-off photos, right? You're not going to do this with all your photos. It would take a long time.
No, it's really perfect for that thing where you go to mom and dad's and there's a photo you've seen all your life hanging on the wall and you just want a copy of it. They're not going to let you take it down and take it to Photoshop. So this is a good way to capture it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's perfect timing. Thank you, Google.
So PhotoScan, it's free.
I'll tell you one thing that's really important to have on your iPhone or your iPad for Thanksgiving. One thing we can all agree on, NFL football. And the NFL app, if you've not played with it, is great. The people who are going to particularly like this are Verizon customers because Verizon lets you watch the games live. And they have an exclusive. So if you're not a Verizon customer for your phone, you're not going to, but they do have highlights of the games, which is great. Most football games, I learned this a few years ago, there's only 11 minutes of action in that 3 hours of TV. Most of the rest is taken up by huddling, coaches screaming, instant replays, and of course, commercials. So a 4-minute highlight reel, which is actually, this is 9 minutes, that's almost all the game. Because they're not showing anything. Oh, you got it right in my eye. They're not showing anything but the big plays. So, frankly, you're getting most of the game without any of the distractions. There is a little ad at the beginning. And there's a lot of other content, including the week scores from each week, game day moments. Let me swipe that out of there. Stories, reporting. So if you're an NFL fan, look, we may argue about politics or religion, but pretty much everybody can get down in the NFL. And even if you are a Patriots fan and Dad's a Dolphins fan, that's fine to argue about that, right? That's harmless. So you can have that, nice little rivalry without being kind of a family buster. So there you go. I think just as ammunition, load up the NFL app. And you guys can talk. There's stats and there's lots more. And if you really want to annoy the family, let's say your family loves the Chicago Bears, you should go out and get a Detroit Lions shirt just to really drive them crazy. Come in that jersey. Really have some fun with that.
I think
NFL.
they play it. I think they play Thanksgiving on. They play football on.
There's 3
Thanksgiving
games this year.
For that, the more games, the less we have to talk about things.
You got to do something when you're in a turkey coma.
That's true.
And it's either nap or NFL or both. Find a good spot on the couch and enjoy.
So speaking of turkey comas, now is a good time also to think about people who don't have enough money to afford to eat a giant meal.
Thanksgiving, let's not forget, is about gratitude, about humility. It's not just about pigging out.
It isn't. That's okay, but you can also donate. And I found an app called Share the Meal. And with one click, you can feed a person for a week. Feed a child for a week. So that's
great.
$3.50. You can feed a child for the week. So it's not one of those old, back in the 90s, there was like, just click and you can feed. You're actually going to have to put out some money, but not a lot for what you get. You can add your PayPal or your credit card. You can do $15 a month, and then you can feed a child for a month. So the app is free, and it's for the iPad or the iPhone, and you can add your credit card, you can log in, or you can use PayPal, and then you do share the meal. And then
Nice?
Your donation will help one hungry child for a week. All meals are provided by the United Nations World Food Program. Your donation covers all costs relating to feeding the children. And so you just select Give $3.50.
Isn't that great? What's the name of that? I want to do that.
It's called Share the Meal.
And it's a great thing. Maybe you have that iPad at the Thanksgiving dinner, and you know how you stop before you eat and you do grace, which is a wonderful thing to do. Maybe you pass that around before you eat and say, let's share our bounty with some people who are less fortunate. And there's no reason for any child to starve in this world. We have plenty.
Yes.
And it's a distribution issue.
Right.
So let's get, that's a great idea.
And it
I
makes
love
it
that.
really easy to share it on Facebook or Twitter too, that, here's what I did, you can do it too.
Well, I mean, I think it's important for kids especially to understand that Thanksgiving isn't just, that's wonderful, the relatives getting together and having a meal, which is, by the way, a great reason to do it, but also to think about others. We used to sometimes go to the local soup kitchen and serve Thanksgiving for a couple of hours before we went to our own meal, and that was always I think a really wonderful thing to do.
Yeah. So this just really makes it easy. So like while you're thinking about it, you have your phone and you're feeling the need. You can put it on your phone or your iPad, and it already has your credit card number, and donate.
Now, if you are in a situation where you have family members and you disagree about things, and sometimes families have little internecine wars and battles, it would be a good thing to have a philosophical context in which to put this. And Jason Calacanis turned me onto this. Stoicism. The Greek Epictetus was the great Stoic writer. Stoicism comes from the word stoa, which is the porch that the philosophers used to sit around. It was really a portico that they would sit around and talk. And Stoicism was a philosophy that Marcus Aurelius wrote about. And what it really is about is a couple of things. We all know the word stoicism. Somebody will put up with really bad things and just grin and bear it. And it's sort of that. It's sort of, you can't really change the circumstances of your life, but it's also about gratitude. And I think that that's really important. One of the tenets of the Stoic philosophy is to think about how much worse it could be and to be grateful for what you have. So this is an app about Stoicism that includes all the Stoic writings. They're all public domain, so it's easy to find all the writings and put them in here. Letters from a Stoic by Seneca. Here's Epictetus's famous work. Here's some meditations from the emperor Marcus Aurelius. He was one of the famous Stoics, believe it or not. But then you can do Stoic exercises, which is kind of cool. Keep a daily philosophical journal for 1 month, for instance. Did I accomplish this? Oh, yeah, why not? Because you get a point if you say yes, you get no, and you'll get a new exercise, and you can do this one another time. Create a list of actual role models, contemplation of the ideal person, analyze what makes them ideal. So a little philosophy might help you be a little more stoic, a little more grateful on Thanksgiving. Not a bad thing. This is a free app called Stoic. It's available in the App Store.
Somebody in our chat room asked again what my app was called. That's called Share the Meal. Share the meal. And I have another one. So Airbnb this week announced that they're going to be expanding into not just having people share their houses, but experiences.
I thought this was interesting.
Yeah. So if you are visiting family and you don't like football, or you need more time to share experiences, you should check that out. They have all kinds of different experiences. You can learn to juggle. You can take a tour. You can learn. One that I saw in San Francisco, which was interesting, that you can take a tour of puppy shelters, of dog shelters.
Oh, nice. What fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's actually a good thing to do at Thanksgiving. Don't move into the guest room. get an Airbnb nearby.
Yes.
Get a little time out in between confrontations.
Yeah, but you don't have to even have a house to do any of these. You don't even have to be renting a house.
Oh,
You
interesting.
So
you don't like arrive at your Airbnb and here's your assignment. You could just do this.
No, you could just go to
Nice.
San Francisco. So
I like the puppy shelter one. That's
yeah,
cool.
and the money goes to this puppy shelter. So let's look at experiences. Do you want to learn about willpower? Do you want to collective
I
expression?
would like to have willpower.
Gallery scene, alive at night. This is.
I'm always looking for things to do in San Francisco, so this is kind of
Yeah. So I think
life-changing music
theater
Chef.
underground. Oh, maybe this is what you need to. This is what
for
you
my
need.
future.
You'll have to go to. You can immerse yourself in DTLA's indie theater scene. So you can book this.
Do they need an older gentleman?
Well, it's $222 per person.
Do I have to do that?
Yes.
I've done all those theater exercises. Oh my gosh, they're smoking her with sage. This is a little weird.
So 100% of what you pay for the experience goes to play collaborative arts.
Neat.
So you're not.
So you have to have an adventurous soul, maybe, to do some of these things. But that's exactly what it's about. These are adventures.
Yeah,
Love this.
and someone was commenting about keeping your, supporting local farmers.
So where do they get these? Are these Airbnb hosts that create these?
These are just people. You could do one too.
Oh,
you
anybody
could do, We
can.
should do a Twit one. Come, pay $200 to tour the Twit studio.
I like that idea.
And
We'll provide you with In-N-Out burgers.
yes,
Yeah.
And make you talk on one of the
Yeah.
shows.
And you could do the
Yeah, so I think this is really cool, and yeah, definitely some interesting. Some of I think that were they're a little high priced, but I
So
think all
you
of them
pay
are,
for these.
you pay for them, and sometimes they're days long, and so yeah.
Anyway, is this in the Airbnb app, or
This
is there
is
a
just
separate
in the
app for it?
Airbnb
Okay.
app.
So look for a locale.
Yeah. Those were all LA.
We go to San Diego a lot. We'd love to vacation down there.
Oh, here's San Francisco 49ers present Game Day.
Yeah. Okay. So the
for
first thing you need to learn
$2,500.
is that the San Francisco 49ers are not in San Francisco, but an hour and a half away in a small town called Santa Clara. And that you really won't be in San Francisco during this event.
Do you know who Dwight Clark is?
I do. You
He's
get to
the
meet Dwight Clark? Oh, yeah.
He's the host.
The
of
catch.
this. He's football legend Dwight
Football legend.
Yeah, and so dinner at Morton's.
Oh, yeah. Morton's is good. That's in San Francisco.
Michael Mina's tailgate.
That's a great, too.
Watch the game like a VIP. Group size 4 guests. It's only $2,500. Yeah,
It's only
40
$2,500
for per person.
per person.
So
What kind of tickets do you get for that? They better be 50-yard line. That's good. I like that. I like that.
you watch the game like a VIP. I think that
I wonder if the Niners put that together. Or?
I don't know. Does he work? I think
Well, Dwight Clark was a 49er, of course, very famous 49er.
so.
Hall
Yeah,
of
I don't
Famer.
know. I think we should come up with an experience.
I kinda
the
like
Twit
that.
experience.
I'm just going to do that one.
Okay.
Girl Power Castro Queen. Well, that might be fun. Zen Explorers.
yeah, that one
Wow,
looked
there's
good.
a lot of
Some
them in the
boating.
city. Look at this.
Yeah.
Triathlon Adventures. That's for you.
Let's see what that is with Dwayne. Hosted by Dwayne.
Hi, Dwayne.
I mean, this is like Airbnb. So, you maybe check out Dwayne before you pay him $375 to see.
Take you swimming, biking, and running.
Ooh, resting metabolic rate test.
Uh-huh.
So experiences, and this is, if you're thinking of holiday gifts, I really believe experiences are better than stuff. They last longer. The memories last longer. So you can give these as a gift as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't give me the
Airbnb.
triathlon one. I don't want it.
No, but I could, I'm looking for, it's Christmas presents for Lisa is hard because she has everything. And, as you get older, Christmas presents seem less and less important. There's no toy that she wants.
Take her on the puppy shelter one.
But experiences are great. And I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, take her on the puppy shelter one, but you probably will go home with a puppy.
No. No, we will not. She's already vowed that Ozzy is our one and only dog ever. But you're right. As soon as there's a puppy, that vow goes right out the window.
Right. Or she probably would end up with cats. You don't have enough cats.
We have
yet.
plenty of cats.
I have one more. Do you have
Please
any more?
do. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Any do. So this is also the
Oh,
time.
I love any do.
So you need to make a to-do list for Thanksgiving if you're having people over, or if you're planning to travel, or your Thanksgiving list your to-do list for just up until the holidays. It gets crazy. Any has some new features. They'll use artificial intelligence to help you do the things. I couldn't exactly figure out how that works, but I do like AnyDo.
It's a to-do list, basically. They have a calendar attachment, or actually app, I guess. I've always liked it. And if it were smart, man.
Well, also, it connects to your Amazon Alexa. So I connected
That's
it.
right, I saw
and then
that.
it automatically added this really long list
Of things you can tell Alexa, Echo to do.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I think this is my task list that my kids just enjoy adding to: whale, chicken, headphones, Minecraft, candy tape,
They
fire
figured
stick,
out, Mom,
Alaska.
fire stick. Don't give them a fire stick.
Edward the computer. I don't know what that means. Knock Milo on the noggin.
Oh, gosh. Do not tell your teenagers that you have this.
Yes. But so, yeah, you just add something and it's super easy, call, check, get email, buy. And then you can add a reminder, like the same way the reminders work on iOS. You can remind someone you can have yourself reminded at a certain time or at a certain location, all those things. So I really, I'm going to get organized, and any dude's going to do it for me.
Every year I say that. Every minute I say it.
But I think that it's somehow using bots to help you, but I'm not exactly sure.
Well, I like the Echo integration. That kind of makes me intrigued by the whole thing.
I also like the Plan Your Day. Do you use the Plan Your Day feature?
Well, it's funny because I stopped using any.do. It's any.do, but we say any.do. And I think now this is enough to get me back in the fold. Mm-hmm. I have tried them all, Wunderlist or Wunderlist.
Yeah, I liked Wunderlist for a while. Got to feed the dog.
I'm
today.
using a command line based task manager that works on Linux, and I need something. And then there's of course things like Omni Project, which is way more elaborate than I need. There's a very elaborate methodology. So I need something kind of in the middle. And it would be, the key to me for any to-do list is the ability to easily add to it. So if I could use, and I have Echo everywhere. Basically, my house is always listening. So I could be anywhere in the house and say, remind me to change that light bulb. And it would know that. So I think I'm going back to AnyDo. I'm going to try it again. So thank you for that suggestion.
Well,
it's free, right?
It's free.
How do they make money?
The pro version is, I think, $2.99 or $3.99 a month, and that's how you get it across all your devices, and it has some extra features.
Got it.
So
okay, all right.
Well, if you were going to try to get a mortgage, you're going to need a to-do list and add digging through old files and paperwork to that.
One of our producers, I won't name names because I don't want to out that person, but one of our producers is about to buy a house.
Oh.
And, they have a really cute house they're looking at, and they're trying to decide. And I said, well, don't forget that when it comes time to get that home loan, you should do it the easiest, fastest, modern way with Rocket Mortgage from Quicken Loans. They'd be going to Quicken Loans anyway. They're like the best mortgage lender in the country. But Rocket Mortgage is another reason to do it because you can do it all online. You can even do it from your iPad or your iPhone from the couch. Quicken Loans realized, I think, that there's a group of people, you and me, people watching this show, who really don't want to, bring a box of papers to the loan office and, go through their pay stubs and all that stuff. But we just want to do it online, and we don't do it fast. And they've made this as fast and simple as possible. So you can literally submit pay stubs and, financial statements and bank statements and all that with a push of a button. They just boom. And that way, the numbers are there accurately, right? And because all of this now goes to a computer, these few simple questions that you answer, the data that you give it is processed instantly, and you'll get approved in minutes. You don't have to wait for some guy with a green eye shade on to come in and crunch the numbers. The computer does it. And it's going to be a tailored solution that fits you exactly. So you'll know everything. On the screen, it'll say exactly not only what your payments are, but all the details that you would like to know about your new loan. So share your info, explore your options, get approved online, then make an offer. Or maybe you already have a house and it's time to refi. This is a great way to do it too. Go to quickenloans.com/iOS today. Quickenloans.com/iOS today for Rocket Mortgage. They're an equal housing lender, of course, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030. This is it. This is the way if you're getting a house. This is going to be their first house, so they're very excited. And they're kind of saying, and it is a little overwhelming. What do I do? What do I do? So this makes it easy. Just do Quicken Loans. And there's no obligation. You just go through the whole thing. You'll know exactly what that house will cost you. There's no mystery. QuickenLoans.com/iOS today. What do you got there?
Okay, so this is the Belkin Valet charger. Charges your Apple Watch and
It has a
iPhone.
built-in little magnet.
Yes. So I have the Belkin Valet, which is not portable, which I keep by my bedside table, which charges my Apple Watch and my iPhone.
I thought that was kind of cool. It's well named because it's like those little valet chairs that you have where everything is on it. Your phone and your watch are on it, and then that is really cool. But this one you take with you, you pre-charge it 6,700 milliamp hours, which is enough to charge your phone and watch 100%.
And I have opened it and used it, so
It's hard to get into that box there. Here we go.
So take a look at this. So my Valet. You want to?
No, that's okay.
My Valet charger. I actually travel with it. The big thing with
That's too big.
I know. And when I was at PepCom, I saw Belkin, and I was like, I always travel with this.
I'm ordering
and
this
I stick
right
it in
now.
my bag, and my luggage always gets searched because people don't know what it is. They think it's a weapon. And she was like, I have the thing for you. It's a little bit on the pricey side for a battery backup. It's $99. So, but I think it's really
But
useful.
an additional watch charger would be like $50, right?
Right.
So
and then you have to have something to plug it in. So yeah, you just charge it up.
look at that.
And
Now,
then-
can I also, when I get to the hotel, plug the whole thing into a wall?
Yeah, you can plug
this
it
is
in.
a good idea.
And it has and it also, I used it this weekend. I went out of town, and it was really nice not to have to bring a bunch of stuff, and just be able to lay this on there, and then you charge your
phone. You could charge two. Or?
Yeah, you charge your phone at the same time with the USB.
Oh, it has a little plug there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with the.
You know what I'd love? Little tip, Belkin. Kind of like the Valet, but just do a little connector dock there, so that I could put the phone there, and then the watch there, and they could all be sitting like that. Why didn't
I
they
wonder
do
why
that?
they don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you still need the wire.
I still need the wire. I'd like to put it because your bedside Valet does
Has
that.
Yeah, I don't have the wire.
So close.
Right, because you can't charge this at the same time you're charging the phone because it only has one USB out.
So what I want is a dock there. I will plug this into the wall so that I'm not using the battery, and I'll put my watch on that and my phone on that. Somebody make that, Belkin.
So yeah, I mean, so $100.
But that's nice because you can put that in your luggage, and you're on the airplane. You can charge as well.
Yes, exactly, or just in your purse. My Apple Watch does not last the whole day, and that can be.
This is what I don't like. I don't want to. I guess I could live with that, but
the wire.
the wire leading to the phone instead of the phone just being on top of it. Maybe it'd be too wobbly.
Yeah, these are real problems. These are.
Oh yeah. People think our lives are easy. Oh no.
They are our lives full of abundance.
It's hard.
It's hard
When you have a bunch of expensive electronics.
So Instagram Live, have you heard of this? This is something that's
They just
launching.
announced this today,
yes.
right?
So it's weird. Instagram seems to be getting more Snapchat-like and more
Snapchat envy.
Periscope-like.
Yeah.
So there's two parts to this.
So
First of all,
we'll start. Instagram originally was just photos. You put photos, you post them, and it's a list of photos. Then they added stories. But it was like Snapchat stories where they're only there for a day, and you can have multiple pictures, video, and text, and hearts, and all that stuff. So this is one more step beyond that.
yes. So there's live video that you can only watch while it's live.
So this is
say, like,
streaming live video, like Facebook Live or Periscope.
Right. So it's like
Okay.
this show if we weren't ever going to do anything else with it except the people watching live
And you can't
now.
save it? It's just done.
It doesn't, I'm sure you can save it to your memories,
Okay.
but you have to invite people. And I think the idea is that they want people to go to Instagram. And if you have that sense of, oh, well, this is going to disappear, I have to go watch it. Like, I think that's the idea.
So I'm going to get notifications now on my Instagram that Megan is streaming live, that kind of thing.
I'm sure you can turn them off.
Right.
But, and the idea is, Instagram says, we don't want you just to be, we don't no longer want to be just the highlighted moments. We want to be all your moments. They've pivoted. That's what the director.
Now,
is saying.
I just got an Instagram update, but it's not this. So
Yeah.
this is not out yet.
Yeah, rolling out in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Some people might have it. And then, so then you can also send direct messages. Those are the Snapchat-like messages. So I can, send.
But they've had that for a while, but these are self-destructing.
Yes, this is the disappearing messages.
That one should disappear right now.
Right. And so they said in their blog post, they say when.
What's wrong with people?
I know.
I'm seeing the video they make. Why? Do we need this really?
No. And they say.
We're in selfie nation.
It is true. But they say your story disappears from the app so you can feel more comfortable sharing anything.
That's what the kids want.
Anytime.
Right.
And I feel like, do you not know? Like anything you
Stop
share,
it.
we always should think about what we share because anyone can
Save it.
screenshot it, screen shave it, whatever. So yeah, I really think that it's irresponsible of them kind of to say like, yeah, now you can share
Well, but
anything.
That's what the kids like
anytime.
about Snapchat. There's no burden because it's not going to be saved. And I don't get it because I spent my whole life creating a platform so that I could record video and audio and save it forever. And so for me, it's like I can't do it because I try it and I think, but why am I putting all this effort into something that's going to self-destruct in 24 hours or less?
I know.
And so that's why Snapchat never just really got me. Who am I going to send this to?
Right. Well, I think what I do like about Snapchat and the ephemeral video movement, if I can call it that.
Oh, I like it.
Is that kids, especially kids, don't have to feel like they always have to have perfect makeup and
That's what it's in
never be
response
silly
to.
and that you have this life that you've perfected. And they really say like, I want to be silly. I want to send a crazy picture to my friends. And it might not be them doing anything wrong, but they just don't want it there archived forever.
Instagram was the worst for that too, wasn't it? I mean, that was what Instagram was all about is, kind of my life sucks. Look at this person, beautifully coiffed, posed perfectly, sitting on the beach. And it was like, oh, geez, Louise. There was a wonderful, I don't know if you've seen Black Mirror. Do you know that show?
I watched the first episode and it depressed me so much. The one with the pig that I couldn't. Should I go back? Do you know what I'm talking about?
So skip the first. So yes, it's all great. It's basically Twilight Zone with a kind of technological sci-fi bent.
Okay.
But the first episode of the third season, the new one, which I think is now being produced exclusively by, is it Amazon or Netflix? Now I've lost it. It's Netflix. Is about Selfie Nation and is all about this because the in the future your reputation score defines you. If you're over 4.0, you can get a better rental car. If you're under 4.0, you have to get the crap rental car. Oh. If you are a 4.5 and you promise to post regularly, you can get a discount on your rent. And all of it. So it's fascinating, and it really is kind of where we're headed, where it's all about how the outside world perceives you. And the show starts with a young woman just trying to get the perfect angle, the perfect shot. She has a cookie and she nibbles it just right and puts it next to the cappuccino and takes a picture, and then she watches to see the points come in because that's her reputation score. And I feel like we're kind of in that world, and this is what kids are reacting to, right? And that's what Instagram really was. So maybe this is Instagram acknowledging, we don't want to create that, which I agree is a bad thing. So let's let you to be silly and sappy and goofy and dumb, like Snapchat with the crazy masks and stuff. And then it's just you throw it away and you don't have to pose and think about it and go for a reputation score.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I think kids are right about this. And I mean, I'm sure that Instagram saw what kids did, which was delete their photos off of Instagram. Like that's what I saw a lot of teenagers doing. They only wanted the last, 15 pictures on their feed, and it was a big deal. And it was, some people criticized it, like, oh, you're just trying to curate your feed and make it look exactly, beautiful in this way. And maybe that was it. But also, like kids, they see a picture of themselves from last year. And they're just like, that's not who I am anymore, that I'm not friends with those people anymore. So really, I think they're answering that problem that, teenagers were saying, like, I don't want this perfectly curated feed of my last 3 years from when I was 12 to 15. That's not what kids want to remember.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I didn't have that as well. I understand it. I do. And I do think this kind of narcissistic kind of focus on selfies and on yourself is not a healthy trend. It's not good. So, but I don't know what we do about it because that's what everybody wants to do. Just you see people all the time, like spend hours, like. Says the guy who spends about 5 hours a day on camera staring at you.
All right, let's move on. Jason Murphy.
Pot, kettle, black.
Well, and people have had self-portraits of themselves painted, for ages like that. That isn't necessarily new.
No, I know. I think it's a natural human. That's where the word narcissism comes from, is the Greek god Narcissus, who was so entranced by his reflection in a pond that he couldn't move.
Right.
I mean, it's as old as mankind. The problem is technology really enables it in kind of scary ways.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also look at it, like, especially with girls and women, like they have the control over it now, whereas they never did
Good point.
before. Like,
Good point.
paintings were always painted of them, photographs were always taken of them.
Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Jason Murphy wrote a letter. Last week, a listener asked about iCloud messages coming through on his work phone and his personal phone. I have a work and a personal iPhone. If you go to Settings, Messages, Text Message Forwarding, you can check or uncheck any of your iCloud devices. This should fix his problem.
Okay.
So let's try this.
Let's try it, because that's not my experience, but okay. I guess you could take something off of the iCloud account and say don't include this in my iCloud account, but then you won't be able to send, when you send stuff from that device, you'll have the same issue. It's a little bright. Can you turn down your screen brightness? I can't quite see it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so this is Settings, Messages, Text. So Megan's iPad, that's my MacBook Pro, so I can turn those on.
Okay, that's a good
And I have to
solution.
enter
Can
the
I still
code, so
send,
I'm
and will it
getting
still
that
show
code.
up on? I mean, I'm worried that now that's going to disconnect that device
I don't
from
know.
my messaging.
And then I can.
I guess you'd do that if you did our solution, which is to create a separate account as well.
So you could.
I
do
still
that.
think you should have a separate account if
Yeah.
you have this problem, because, well, my son and I, for instance, were sharing one iCloud account, and I was getting his messages, he was getting mine. That's a good example where the solution is to get a separate account. But that's good to know. So I'm gonna see. You said where is it again? It's in general.
Messages, settings, messages.
Messages. Okay.
Then
Send and receive.
text message forwarding. So it's
Text
not
message.
coming on my iPad. It's only on my iPhone.
Ah, it's an iPhone thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Got
guess
it.
the iPhone is the controller. Yeah, because this is settings.
That makes sense, because messaging
messages,
is really an iPad.
and
iPhone thing.
text message forwarding only.
One of the
there.
things that I like about messages is that anybody sends me a message on my phone, it shows up on all my devices, and I can respond from all my devices. So I'm not sure I'd want to disable that, but if it's bugging you, that's a good thing to know about. Cool. By the way, I wanted to mention, because there was a lot of attention paid to the story, and it came from a Russian security firm, Elcomsoft, and then was picked up by The Intercept. And once The Intercept published it, everybody published it, that, oh my God, the iPhone is secretly, that was the word that The Intercept used, secretly uploading your call history to iCloud. It's not secret. You said it should do that, and this is nothing new. It's always done that, and it'd be easy to spot because, well, do you remember when you got a new iPhone and you restored from iCloud and it had your call history and your contacts and your phone numbers and your passwords and all that stuff? That's what it means to back up to iCloud, and that's an intended result. So this seems to me to be link bait. Surely Elcomsoft understands that if they're worth anything. Maybe The Intercept didn't, but I just wanted to counsel people that it's nothing to freak out about. However, there is something you should keep in mind, which is that Apple does have and always had access to the contents of your iCloud account. That's not new, but it's always been there. So if you are concerned about what information is on your iCloud account, you might want to turn off iCloud backup, because Apple will give that information to law enforcement with a subpoena. A rogue Apple employee could potentially view it. And hackers, if they could get into iCloud in some way, could get access to all of that stuff. So anytime you're backing up stuff from your phone to a cloud service, there's always that potential risk. And if the clouds, and the way to find out if the cloud service has your password is if you can contact them and say, I forgot my password. Could you reset it or give me a new one? That generally means they have access to it. And Apple has admitted that. In fact, remember in the San Bernardino case where the terrorists had an iPhone that that the FBI wanted Apple to unlock, one of the things Apple said at the time was, if you had just let it back up to iCloud, we could have given you everything. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they have access to everything. So that's the real thing that maybe that story should have said is and it's nothing new. Just remember, Apple has access to the contents of your iCloud account, so consider what you put up there.
Yeah, I mean, I think The Intercept was saying they needed to be more clear about the fact that they were doing that. But I agree with you that you always knew and you took advantage of that. You know, we always took.
It's called backup.
Right. And also I think that Apple throws around the end-to-end encryption, but that's on device. That's on your device.
And that is not deceptive, but it can fool you because you assume, well, the FBI can't get my phone. Good news. But remember, Apple said, yeah, but if you just let that phone back up to iCloud, we could get it. Mm-hmm. Very important. Very important. End-to-end encryption is only your phone. As soon as you give it to them, their servers, you're giving it to them. And I think that's generally true of Dropbox. There are a few like Spider Oak that sell themselves as full trust no one encryption. You encrypt it before it leaves your device, and it's stored on our servers with the password that you use. We don't know it. So if that's what you want, you need to find somebody like Spider Oak. Most services don't do that because then it means they can't do a lot of the things that you might want them to do, like deduplicating, things like that, because they can't see into it. It's just you're just putting a blob of data up on their servers.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rick from North Carolina also sent us an email. He says, do you know of an app that calculates the days, months, years between two dates? Example, graduated from college in June 1967 and compare to the current day. I'm looking for an app that can be installed on the iPhone. It would be available on the iPad and the Apple Watch. I've used Life Ticker on the iPad, but it isn't available for the iPhone or the Apple Watch. And if you get a new iPad, you lose all your data. So do you have
How many days ago was June 15th, 1967?
It was 18,057 days ago.
You already have it. It's called Siri.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't know this. We mentioned this question last week, and somebody very smart in the chat room said, Siri can do that.
Okay, well, that's good. I also have an app. It's called Countdown to the Day.
There's limits to what
days.
Siri can do. So, for instance, you can say, how many days until Christmas?
It's 34 days until then.
And you can say, as I just did, how long ago was June 17th, 1967? But you can't say easily, how many days between June 17th, 1967 and December 15th, 1981?
Sorry, I can't help you with that.
So that's kind of complicated, and I'm not surprised. It's, in fact, amazing that it'll do as much as it does. So you'll need that app that you have to do stuff like that.
Yeah, so this is Countdown to, and so I put in Rich graduated from college, June 20th, 1967, and I could add a little picture, and it's been 18,052 days.
Just as Siri said.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I could, here's how many days.
This is nice because you can do countdowns forward, too, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. And, yeah, you can just add an event, you add the, and you... if you want to do it in weeks or months.
And you get a pretty picture of trees.
Yes.
Is that your picture?
That's my picture of trees.
Oh, nice.
And then you can add your calendar if you want to automatically add your events in there. So
Google will also in the search results in many cases do these kinds of calculations. And of course, don't ever forget Wolfram Alpha, which is very sophisticated. It's worth learning what Wolfram Alpha can do because a lot of times I ask complicated questions and I think, this is going to be hard to figure out. And it turns out you could ask the same question on Wolfram Alpha and it would give you the answer. One of the things we do all the time is compare, for instance, stock valuations of two different companies. And it's easy to do just by asking Wolfram Alpha. So that's another thing to keep handy for the date calculations. Did
you try it on Google, like on your Pixel phone to see if it
Shall
worked?
I don't have my Pixel phone here, but I'm pretty sure I remember doing it in text searches on Google. Shall I try it right now?
Sure.
Let's see. All right, let me go to search, and I really like dictation. It's my favorite way to do everything. So if I pull up the keyboard, I can't pull up the keyboard because I have the keyboard attached. Is there any way to launch dictation with the keyboard attached? I guess not. How many days ago was June 16th, 2016. And nope. But it does bring up a website called howlongago.com. Howlongago.com that gives you the same. 0 years, 5 months, 5 days, 14 hours, 56 minutes, and 18 seconds. And I could tweet that if I wanted to.
Awesome. All right, we have a question from Vinny. He asks, I have a large collection of DVDs and books. Is there an app for scanning the barcodes or titles of the DVDs or books and to catalog my collections? I recommend Fantastic Library, which I just found after looking. Have you ever heard of Fantastic Library?
Well, there was one called Beautiful Library.
This
I
is
wonder
from Light Apps.
Yeah, I think that this is a successor to Beautiful Library, which was a wonderful, I think it was Beautiful. Was that the name of it? That's it right there, is it? But no,
this
it's
is
not.
called Fantastic Library.
How interesting.
Here's the book that I recommended you. And I just went through my DVDs and my books last night, and I just scanned the barcode, and there they are. And this is good for those people who like to share books and DVDs, but they like to get them back. So you can add a new, you can...
Delicious Library.
Ooh,
That's the one I
delicious.
was thinking of. So this is I won't say ripoff, but this is a kind of a copy of one of the most famous Mac apps of all time.
Oh.
So that's interesting. And it looks very similar. It gives you a shelf. Does it scan barcodes? And
Yep,
all
it
that?
scans barcodes. That's what you do if we had a book,
Interesting.
I
don't know if they ever, let me see if they made an app for Delicious Library, because these guys really invented this whole thing. In fact, to the point where this became a style of programming on the Macintosh called, Delicious Library styling. They do have an iOS app for version 3, but you need to have the desktop app. The iOS app will use the iOS camera to scan into the desktop app. If you want a desktop version of this, highly recommend Delicious Library.
This is
Highly
Fantastic Library. This also has iCloud
Isn't that
syncing.
funny? They're completely copying Delicious Library.
What if Delicious Library was copying Fantastic Library?
No. This is one of the oldest Mac apps. This is a very famous Mac app.
Well, Fantastic Library.
The Delicious Library left a gap in the marketplace.
Yeah.
They never did an iOS app. They did a companion app, but I don't think they ever did an iOS app.
Jason Siegel has an app recommendation for us. It's the Firefox Focus. Have you heard of that?
Firefox Focus?
Firefox Focus.
What does it do?
It blocks ads and it blocks ad content, analytical trackers, social trackers, and other content.
But you have to use a Firefox browser.
Well, let's see. Firefox.
Does it work with Safari?
It does.
Okay, so it's one of the content blockers that you can enable in Safari.
I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay.
So automatic private browsing. Browse like no one's watching, they say. And so once I'm here, I can't really see, I can't go anywhere.
Well, already I could see there's an ad. There's supposed to be an ad right below. This is our site, twit.tv. Right below the big picture, there's a bar.
That's
An app. That's been taken out.
Okay.
Go all the way down. Yep, both ads have been removed. Yep.
So now here's how I get to Safari.
Oh, you're not in Safari, though.
So I don't know. Am I in
You're
Safari
in some
or
app.
I'm in Firefox
You're in Firefox
Focus?
Focus.
But I can't go anywhere. There's like none of my,
So I don't get it. I mean, you could use any number of content blockers in Safari to do this.
Yes. So how is it different? So if I go to
Well, it's
Safari,
worse because you
do
don't have
think
a
it
browser.
then blocks me?
No, now
'Cause
you're going to get the,
now
ad,
the ads
see?
here.
Yeah. So if you got Crystal ad blocker, one of the ad blockers, turned it on, those ads would be gone in Safari. I'm not sure. There must be more to this than
There's
that.
no settings. There's no nothing.
No nothing.
Erase means,
It's just-
I guess.
It just goes to one page. Oh, you know what? This is more like a reading app.
So if
Do you know what I
just wanna
mean?
read
Sometimes
an
you go to
article-
pages and there's so much cruft on it you can't read it. This is like readability or the Safari reading tool.
Do you ever block web fonts to speed stuff
Yeah,
up?
that's what this is for. This is for, because fancy fonts might annoy you.
Use it as a private browser. Search and browse right in the app. Block trackers. Use it as a Safari extension. Use it as a
Safari extension. So you could go into if you go right now into your settings and look under Safari, it'll show you content blockers that are available, and I gather Firefox Focus will not be one.
Okay.
Okay, so good. But you have to enable it obviously in Safari for that to work.
So would you recommend this for someone who just
Sure.
wanted to read something on there?
Sure. I mean, it's just another ad blocker.
Well,
I don't know if it's better than the other ones. There's so many out there now.
but I could
I'll
see
try
it
it.
because I was reading an article from the New Yorker, the David Remnick article about
Great
Obama.
article, yeah.
And like it was pretty annoying to have all those ads like just keep being
Yeah,
there.
and
So-
I don't think the New Yorker should be paid for any of their writing. It's not that good.
Well, maybe I looked at them once and it took me. I mean, that's a long article. I was
I know.
reading it for
It was a
several
very long
hours, so
article.
maybe
You saw a
like
lot
I
of
looked at
ads.
them enough. You're right. I know
By the way,
it's tough.
the funniest thing of all is if you search for Firefox Focus on the Apple App Store, you get an ad for Firefox Focus.
That is pretty
The
funny.
ad blocker.
Yeah,
What?
I know. You're right. Writers should be paid for their work.
What?
But thank you,
No, Remnick doesn't
Jason
need any more money. He's
Segel.
been the editor for years. He's probably doing fine.
Okay.
You know what I got out of that article? Man, that guy got a lot of access to Obama. He's riding in his
true.
car. He's hanging out at the Oval Office. Obama must like him.
Mm-hmm.
He spent a lot of time with the president.
Yeah. All right. Well, now is
That's
the time.
all I got out of it. Jealousy.
That's not all you got.
All
out
I
of
got
it.
out of it was
That's
jealousy.
Not all you got out of it.
I was jealous.
All right. Well, as long as we brought up politics, it's time for our app caps. As John said when he brought these hats out, sometimes you're
This isn't
the
going
bird.
on as easily as it did the first time I got it. Oh, here we go.
Sometimes you cook the bird, and sometimes you are the bird.
Sometimes you're the pig. Sometimes you're the chef. It is that way sometimes, isn't it?
You're the ham. You're always the ham. Actually.
Yes. That's why we're having ham for Thanksgiving. So I've got the cap to cook you. And we wear these caps for one reason alone. Because I have a bunch of hats and I've got to make them tax deductible.
Yeah, exactly. You have a hat buying addiction and you want to be able to do it.
I want to deduct it.
So this app is called Countable. And this is a way for you to have access to your representatives. So, now is the time, my friends, to pay attention to what's going on in politics, no matter what side you are on. And Countable is a way to do that. You can send videos to your representatives. So here is a feed of just information and things that are in the news about politics, different things that I might want to let my representative know I want to happen or I don't want to happen.
So you can actually press a button now and say, hey, read this, representative.
Yes.
Good.
So
sharing it directly to the member of Congress.
Exactly.
Nice.
And you can even send a video. So here are my reps. So, hey, Barb, how are you? Here's how I feel. Yay, nay, yay. Yay is how she voted.
Oh, you can even see how she stands on it. Oh, that's great.
And if I
great.
want...
Now, I have to point out that these are probably the least effective way to influence your member of Congress. You know that. I mean, an email or a share or a Facebook or a tweet is the least significant signal. The most significant signal is a call to their office after that, a snail mail note or message. There may be some argument about that. I've seen some staffers say it's better to send mail. Some staffers say it's better to call. But all staffers say, yeah, we don't.
We don't.
Go ahead, tweet us all. No, yeah, we don't.
us all you want.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
So I feel like there was access to what happens if I, yes, if there's her contact.
I like this
information.
information. I think that's really useful. We've learned after the election, almost half of the electorate didn't vote. That's in some ways good news if you care about something, because most people don't get involved, don't care, don't write their member of Congress, don't call the office. And so every call counts more because you're somebody who cares. And they're going to pay, your voice is louder because of that. So I think that's a little, a lesson for us all. In some ways, it's a good thing if there's this, a lot of people who don't care, because then when you do care, it makes a bigger difference.
Exactly. So Countable, check it out. And yeah, check it out for information.
I'm going to get that. I like that. Anything to remind us to stay involved is a good thing. Now, you can tell that my bias is a little bit towards. I'm scared that Thanksgiving is going to be a nightmare, and I need to relax and calm down. So I have 2 apps for relaxing and calming down. How about that? This is a couple of years old. This is called Mountain, and it is 99 cents. And even though it's in the Apple recommendation for apps you can use in airplane mode. If you use it on a modern iPad, you're going to get Mountain may slow down your iPad. The developer of this app needs to update it to improve its compatibility. Okay. It's from 2014. I didn't notice it causing any problems on my iPad mini. So now the first thing you got to do is do some drawings.
Okay.
So draw something. Meaning is an exclamation mark with error. It doesn't really matter what you draw, and I'll show you why. You're not going to... Forgiveness, what does that mean to you? I think it means happy, joy. Okay. And privacy. Oh, that's an easy one. Stop. All right. Now, what I've actually done is give it some data points for it to generate a mountain, my very own unique mountaintop. And welcome to Mountain. This is the simplest program ever. You are mountain. You are God. Now, I don't know about that, but please enjoy your time here. And that's it. I now have a mountain. It was generated. It's unique. Every mountain's unique. There's a couple of things you can do. Down here, there's a keyboard.
Oh. Wait, that was generated based on those drawings you made of forgiveness and privacy?
Yeah, well, they're just random. I mean, the questions change every time you do it, too. And the mountain goes through day and night. We don't really have time to show you all the things. It does. But the weather will change. The sun will go down. It'll rain. Sun will shine. Mountain every once in a while will say something. And then, but leave it running for a while. I think this is kind of fun to just have on your desktop, just kind of sitting there. By the way, you can go out and see Mountain from space. There's Mountain way down there, right? And you can even, that's above the mountain. You can even go under the mountain. There's like little rocks and roots under there. So you can go all over the mountain. But just let it sit there. And every once in a while, something will fall from the sky and embed itself in the mountain. And just weird things, like I got a scythe, or a fire extinguisher, or an egg. An egg just drops, and it makes a big boom when it drops, and then you can pick it up and move it around. It's very soothing. It does nothing. But it's 99 cents, and it's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. I find this very relaxing somehow, and every once in a while, you can play a tune or stuff like that. I don't know if I can pick up those rocks. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can. No.
It's
There's
like
trees.
the new Fire in the Fireplace app.
Yeah, but it's soothing, and there's something about mountains, and it snows, and weather changes. And,
I am soothed by that.
yeah, things happen. I kind of like it. Okay, now maybe you want to be something a little more interactive. So I thought, well, this is good, 99 cents. But then if you want to even be a little bit more interactive, this is actually really cool. It's called Putty 3D. Whoa. This is $5. It is pretty much impractical, but it could be very satisfying. Let's open a project. There's a ball of putty. By the way, it doesn't have to be a ball of putty. You have a broad variety of different materials you can make your ball out of, and then you can just do stuff with it. You can, you can deform the people who have used 3D tools are probably pretty familiar with the idea here. You can extrude stuff. I don't know what's going on.
It's always good to use the word extrude.
Extruding and mushing.
That's very soothing. It's just watching.
It's just kind of fun, and then you can get in close, and I mean, it's kind of, you have symmetry here. You can do symmetrical things for a nose, and then it's just kind of fun to play with. Okay, it has no use as far as I can tell. You can save it to the gallery. You can blur it I don't know. You can just do stuff with it. It doesn't seem like it saves in any 3D format that you could use in a 3D modeling tool. It's not that useful. I don't, maybe I'm misunderstanding. By the way, I don't know. You want gold. Oh yeah. You're one of them, aren't you? Uh-huh. Yeah. Now how much would you pay? So, I don't know what the point of this is, but
it's putty that never dries up.
It never dries up. You can play with it infinitely, and I kind of like the idea. And of course, you can change I kind of like the idea, and I wish, and I want to have them add this. You could take a picture of a family member and then do it, right?
Yeah, that would
like
be
give them a long nose. There was a program called from Kai Krause called Goo. I don't know if you remember Goo, but Goo was kind of like this, except you could take a picture of somebody and goo them and mess with them, and the kids loved it. You can kind of do that. I think the Macintosh photo booth album has some features like that.
Well, Snapchat has some filters. You could do that
Filter.
too.
Anyway, it's kind of, I mean, actual silly putty might even be more fun, but this at least doesn't get caught in the couch and dry out. So, and you can undo everything. You're not
Like
stuck
this.
with it.
Oh, I can't. I don't know.
Are you going to goo me?
Well, yeah, but you gotta. Let's see.
I'm not moving.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh,
I gooed you a little.
you gooed me. That's really horrible.
Yeah.
So there you go. Maybe that would be better. Just do a snap. You know what? Bring a Snapchat to your family gathering and just, because mom and dad, everybody loves Snapchat. And we have mentioned before, but I'll show this as well. If you don't want the Snapchat ability, the shareability, MSQRD is a wonderful app we've talked about before that has, it's the same idea. They've got lots of new effects every day, and unlike Snapchat, it just kind of works, right? You just
Why do they still have the witch one on?
well, they're a little behind.
Yeah.
Maybe that's that's a good one. They're still in Halloween mode, aren't they? Ah, they don't, so it's just this would be a good icebreaker, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. I tell you, I never get enough of the Snapchat filters. I don't really know if anyone ever looks at them on Snapchat, but I like to post them on.
What are
other
you
social
talking about,
medias.
Megan? I used to be a virtual reality character on TV. Pretty much the same technology. $1 million computer. I had to wear a weird suit. Now I can do it on my iPad. Let's see what else. Hi, how are you? This is part of my acting resume. I'm Pee Wee Herman.
Someone from MSQRD is going to say, like, "What? I didn't know we had hats added to all of our filters."
Hats. We've added hats. Hello.
That's
Hi.
just your hat.
My name is Antonin. I will be your chef today.
All right.
I mean, this would be fun for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
MSQRD or Snapchat.
Snapchat or MSQRD. They're always fun for any awkward moments you have. All
Breaks
right.
the ice
Yeah. So
before they break your nose.
we've done
Concluded
it again.
it? Is it over?
It's over. Yes.
There's a woman in a turkey hat and a man in a chef's hat. Why are they on your screen? Because you've been watching iOS Today. We're on every Monday afternoon, about 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern Time, 19:30 UTC if you'd like to watch in UTC land.
But subscribe.
That's the best.
Yeah, twit.tv/iOS. Subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. And all the links, if you miss them, they're all there on the website for you.
And there will be hats.
There will be hats.
Hats
yes.
will be worn.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
I'm gonna
Have a
do
great
my-
Thanksgiving on iOS Today.